My friend, it is Perez Hilton, and I've got some big Miley Cyrus and Cody Simpson news, as well as some Gina Rodriguez developments, Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, Adele, and YouTubers from the Ace family to Tasha K. But first, we need to start off with something serious today. That is this very disturbing story of what has happened, according to his ex-wife, with Jeremy Renner, the Avengers star, in his house around his 6-year-old daughter. I feel so strongly about this that I think he needs to be stripped of his custody ASAP, and any visitation needs to be monitored by a court-appointed observer. If you don't know, I need to be very careful with how I word things, but Jeremy Renner's ex-wife has alleged a lot of things. He countered it, and then, okay, he seems sensible. I could believe this. But now, new information has come to light. 3 separate women have come forward with damaging, disturbing details that paint a picture of a really unfit parent towards Jeremy Renner. 2 of the 3 women claim that they were intimate with Jeremy Renner and saw substances, and that his daughter was home. And I don't want to go too much into detail because YouTube and Facebook has demonetized me recently too on some videos. I'll really go into it on the podcast. Check out the Perez Hilton podcast with Chris Booker on Apple Podcasts or directly at perezpodcast.com. There was even, in addition to those 2 sworn affidavits, women speaking on the record to the court. A 3rd woman spoke on the record, a former nanny. One was an ex-girlfriend of Jeremy Renner's, one was a friend who hooked up with him, and then a former nanny says he would have loud parties, wild parties with his daughter home. And this nanny corroborates the ex-wife's story that he pulled out against her and threatening her and himself. Oy. I know it sounds extreme, say he needs to have his daughter taken away from him, but yeah, this is an extreme situation. You know, I always like to be pragmatic and say, well, maybe she's telling the truth or maybe he's telling the truth. But now it's 4 against 1. 4 women who have come forward alleging this. Oh, man. This guy, if these 4 women are telling the truth, he has serious psychological damage. Even a messed up parent wouldn't do half of the things that he's alleged of doing. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's move on. You know what I do want to talk about? I want to talk about my friend passenger shaming. Her biggest account, I think, is Instagram, but she's on TikTok. She's got a YouTube. She sent me another mug. It says, and in other wacky news, I love it. Thank you, passenger shaming. I don't know if you saw yesterday's video, but I debuted the Fram mug. Thank you for that. Thank you for this one. Hopefully you'll catch one of these 2 videos where I give you a shout out. I think her real name is Sean? Or that might be a secret. FK. I didn't reveal the last name. All right. I sell my own mugs. If you want to get a Fram mug, you can buy that at buypopstuff.com. That's buypopstuff.com, or just click through in the merch shelf below this YouTube video if you're watching it on YouTube. All right, I mentioned Gina Rodriguez, and yesterday I told you all that she apologized for using the N-word in an Instagram story. She was singing along to a Fugees song, and a lot of people were not having her apology. So then somebody, her publicist, I'm sure, not her, wrote a really long statement apologizing on her behalf. Maybe it was her. I'm only kidding. Let me read to you what this apology said. Quote, "In song or in real life, the words that I spoke should not have been spoken. I grew up loving the Fugees and Lauryn Hill. I thoughtlessly sang along to the lyrics of a favorite song, and even worse, I posted it. The word I sang carries with it a legacy of hurt and pain that I cannot even imagine. Whatever consequences I face for my actions, none will be more hurtful than the personal remorse I feel. Watching my own video playing back at me has shaken me to my core. It is humiliating that this has to be a public lesson, but it is indeed a much-deserved lesson. I feel so deeply protective and responsible to the community of color, but I have let this community down. I have some serious learning and growing to do, and I am so deeply sorry for the pain I have caused." Now that is a good statement. There was also this video that went viral of an old scene from something that Gina Rodriguez did, which might not be anything, but it could turn into a big story because it's an acting scene, but it looked to me like it may have been improvised. I've done a lot of acting for web shows, and a lot of the times you're making your own lines up. If it turns out that Gina Rodriguez made up her own lines and she said the N-word while acting but writing her own script, that's going to be bad for her. But you know what's not bad? Powder Puffs and Kittens 333. Meow, meow, meow. Powder Puffs and Kittens 333. Thank you for super chatting me yesterday. You are an angel to me. Powder Puffs and Kittens 333. Hello, Mark. This is your mother. I also want to thank Nena Bogle. Or is it Nena Bogle? I think it's maybe Nena Bogle. Bogle or Boggle? Nena, I love seeing you yesterday during the super chat. Thank you for super chat during the live premiere. Thank you for super chatting me for the first time. I think you are so appreciated, as is my friend. I hope I don't mispronounce her name. I know who she is. She even bought merch. I shared the photo. She looked fierce in it. She's a hot tamale. Sin Lippold. Kylie Kincaid, an all-star Fram member, and Alyssa Floyd. Thank you, guys. Okay, I mentioned the Ace family. I have a brief update on them. It should be noted, and it is quite interesting, that despite all the controversy and drama with the Ace family this week, they have not lost any followers on YouTube. Let me go to Social Blade and look at the stats, the latest stats, the Ace family. Here we go. If you don't know, Social Blade is this free website that publicly shows if people are losing or following subscribers, and to my knowledge, they haven't lost any. I mean, it's a little hard to tell because they have so many subscribers. So it just says 17.7, 17.7, 17.7. But, you know, you would think maybe they'd lose 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. They have stayed the same. They have stayed the same. They haven't gained any, but they haven't lost any followers either. And their daily, I think they have gained. Not by hundreds of thousands. Their daily average is 3.3 thousand. But remember the drama with James Charles? He lost millions of followers over a vitamin. Yesterday, in other wacky news, Katy Perry released her new single. I'm guessing it's a single. Released another new song. Let me phrase it that way. Called Harley's in Hawaii. And I didn't have time to do a music reaction video, nor did I think it would get a lot of views, to be honest. And my thoughts, if you haven't heard it yet, are, if you haven't heard it, that's telling. Because Katy Perry, for a long time there, was very popular. People have lost interest in her. If I was advising her, I would have said, do not release this song. Take a nice long break. Get married and have a baby. Then come back. I've said this already. Then come back with a killer song tied to a Vegas residency. She hasn't done that. And this new song, Harley's in Hawaii, I liked Small Talk, her most recent single, because it was good. This is not good for me. It's not bad either, but it just doesn't do it. It's very meh. It feels like she's trying too hard to be young and hip. I would never call Katy Perry hip. And she's not young anymore. Billie Eilish is young at 17. Katy Perry is double her age, if not older than that. Let me see how old Katy Perry is. She's not old, but I also wouldn't say she's young. Katy Perry is... How old is she? Come on, Wikipedia. 34. She's going to be 35 next week. There you go. She will be 35 years old next week. She's not a part of youth culture anymore. It's not anything mean. 11 years ago when she started, she was 23. She was a part of youth culture then. This song, it felt like druggy. I don't even like saying that word on YouTube. Anyways, I hope it does well. I hope I'm surprised. I have a feeling it won't even chart in the top 50 of the Billboard Hot 100. I don't think Small Talk did. In more music news, Miley Cyrus and Cody Simpson have moved in together. He shared a photo on Instagram story with the caption, "Move-in Day." We know where he moved into. Also, Miley and Cody both got not matching tattoos, but went to the same tattoo artist and got tattoos together. Miley got a bleeding heart with a dagger stabbed through it and a banner that reads "Rock and Roll Heart." And Cody got a skull and crossbones line drawing backed by the Grim Reaper's signature scythe. Scythe, is that how you pronounce it? Speaking of Miley Cyrus, her ex Liam Hemsworth is still going strong with that Aussie actress Madison Brown. A source tells People magazine, whom I find to be very reputable, it's very new. Liam is taking it slow, but he's definitely interested in her. Oh, I'm so happy. Speaking of Liam's, Liam Payne is kissing and telling majorly. I think it's because Liam Payne just sat down for an interview with fellow musician Jessie Ware. And I think when artists talk to other artists, their peers, they feel like they can open up more. They feel maybe understood more. They let their guard down. And Liam in Jessie Ware's podcast said some shocking things to me about his baby mama, Cheryl Tweedy. I was trying to think of what name she's gone back to. I mean, I guess she just goes by Cheryl. Cheryl Cole, Cheryl Tweedy, Cheryl Fernandez Vizulu, whatever it was. She's gone through many names publicly. He says that Cheryl was so consumed with public perception about their relationship, quote, for her, if you were going out somewhere, it would take so long to get out of the door because you're just so worried. He also hinted at being frightened of Cheryl during their relationship, saying, quote, she's strict. She surprised me sometimes. When asked if he was frightened of her, Liam Payne said, let's say I've been on the receiving end of that quite a lot. I understand she's much older than him. I'm sure there was jealousy and insecurity at play. I know I've got a lot of British viewers, so they will, and you guys know I'm a big Anglophile. I love Cheryl. I love Girls Aloud. I never really cared for One Direction, but I love Cheryl and Girls Aloud. And I did a music review for Liam Payne's new song. Did I? Maybe I didn't. I like his new song that was written by Ed Sheeran. It's a bop. It sounds just like that Strip It Low song, but I like it. Anyways, Liam's got a new girlfriend and things are good with him. He's happy. Everybody should be happy. I was happy yesterday watching the Taylor Swift Tiny Desk concert. She did 4 songs and was in her element. Taylor Swift behind the guitar or in front of a piano. Is it in front of a piano? Yeah, I think it's whatever. Taylor Swift playing the guitar or playing the piano. That is her in her element. And what was so funny to me was All Too Well was trending. And so many people claim that All Too Well is Taylor's best song ever. My favorite Taylor Swift song is still You Belong With Me. And frankly, I think Dear John is better than All Too Well. Justice for Dear John. I like All Too Well too, don't get me wrong. I just prefer Dear John. I think it's, apples and oranges, as they say. Are you an All Too Well or a Dear John? Speaking of Taylor Swift, Khloe Kardashian shared a Taylor Swift quote. You know how she loves to share those inspiring messages on social media. Khloe posted this from Taylor saying, people are going to judge you anyway, so you might as well do what you want. Interesting that Khloe Kardashian, would post a Taylor Swift quote. In more music news, Nicki Minaj did not say she was collaborating with Adele. She said that, but she was being sarcastic, she clarified on Twitter. Because at first I was so excited, because if you guys watch my daily recap videos daily, you know I said earlier this week, I literally said, I feel, not based on any information, just on this gut feeling, that Adele is going to go more pop and give us her 1989. Not like sonically that sound, but just conceptually give us a more pop album. I'm going to talk about Lizzo in a second, as well as A$AP Rocky. But first, I need to thank my friend Kevin Murphy and my friend N. Galvis, 2 beautiful members of my fam, for super chatting me, as well as Danny Abiton. Danny and I go way back. Danny Abiton gave $1, and that dollar is so appreciated. Or maybe it was $1.99. I think it was $1 or a pound, which might be $2. Anyways, any amount matters and means so much, because if everybody gave $1, I would be living a less stressful life. Just $1 a month. Hit that super chat icon below this if you're watching this during the live premiere. If not, then make sure you're subscribed so that we can super chat and chat. That's me chatting every day. Also, thank you to Amanda Show and Nadia Victoria. Amanda Show and Nadia Victoria also super chatted me yesterday. You guys are super. All right, I mentioned Lizzo, and you know the saying, more money, more problems. Lizzo is so hot right now. She's just been sued again. This time she has faced yet another plagiarism accusation over the same song, Truth Hurts. She's 100% that thief. I'm kidding, I don't know. But it's interesting, 2 people suing her over the same song. Just burped. I had ham. I think I tasted ham. I'm an oversharer. It is what it is. Also, A$AP Rocky revealed recently that he is addicted to sexy times, intimate moments. Okay, I won't get into too much detail. He likes the number 3. He says he has since he was a teenager, 13. You know how to cure an addiction to that? Just be intimate with yourself more often. That could turn into an addiction as well, but I'm just saying, to treat the other addiction, pick up that new one. It's quicker and potentially less dangerous. All right, some film news. Jonah Hill is out of the Batman movie with Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz. It was unclear what role he would be playing. I was thinking the Penguin, is it Penguin or the Penguin? The Penguin, or Penguin. Penguin. I know it's the Riddler, or is it Riddler? I don't know. Jeez Louise. I'm going to guess it was one of those two, Riddler or the Penguin. Maybe the Penguin or the Riddler. I don't know. Oh my God, I'm so crazy. He's not going to be in the movie. However, Jada Pinkett Smith is in talks to appear in The Matrix 4. Wouldn't that be rad if she showed up in that? I would love that. Also, Elton John is opening up about the Lion King remake, the one with Beyonce and the CGI animals. He was not a fan of it. I love that Elton says whatever he wants. He can, because he's a legend. He is. He's a legend. Elton John is like a Beatle. You know, he's been around forever and has so many hits. And he's a legend. He said this about the new Lion King. Quote, "The new version of the Lion King was a huge disappointment to me. The new version of The Lion King was a huge disappointment to me because I believe they messed up the music. Music was so much part of the original, and the music in the current film didn't have the same impact. The magic and the joy were lost. The soundtrack hasn't had nearly the same impact in the charts that it had 25 years ago, when it was the best-selling album of the year. The new soundtrack fell out of the charts so quickly, despite the massive box office success. That's Australian. I wish I'd been invited to the party more, but the creative vision for the film and its music was different this time around, and I wasn't really welcomed or treated with the same level of respect. That makes me extremely sad. I'm so happy that the right spirit of the music lives on with Lion King stage musical." On to some TV news. Tatiana from RuPaul's Drag Race was arrested for disorderly conduct in Atlanta. Apparently, she tried to get into a club through the side entrance, and drama happened when she refused to leave. Some queens think they can just skip the line. I mean, it seems real shady. I don't really understand, don't know all the details here, but I think she should sell her mugshot on merch. I would buy that. Also, Gwyneth Paltrow has come under criticism for some poop on her Goop website. They wrote an article called Busting Diet Myths with the tagline supported by science that purported to help you live your leanest livable weight. A lot of people think that Gwyneth and Goop are promoting unhealthy behavior. Your leanest livable weight? How about your healthiest livable weight? I still don't understand how Goop stays in business. Maybe because of their Christmas catalog. I gotta admit, here's a confession. I love doing these videos because I confess random things. I once bought something off Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop. Did I? I think, no. Maybe I did. I did one of two things. I either saw something on Gwyneth's Goop Goop Christmas list and then found it somewhere else and bought it that way, or I bought it directly through the Goop Christmas gift guide. But still, I think she employs a lot of people. It's crazy that Goop is in business, because does anybody even read the website, or is it maybe the email? Or is anybody subscribed to the Goop email list or whatever? All right, I mentioned briefly Tasha K. Some of y'all may remember that popular-ish YouTuber. I would say she's popular. She's got more subscribers than me. A different audience. I don't think we've got the same viewers. Problematic and legally embattled vlogger Tasha K, who many people accuse of making up things repeatedly, may be in serious drama. Fellow YouTuber Armin Wiggins, whose show I've been a guest on, claims that Tasha K has lost her home due to foreclosure and bad credit. That really sucks. I'm not gonna gloat or take pleasure in anybody's misfortune. That sucks. I hope that's not true. And I sincerely send money vibes to Tasha K. Y'all know I obsess and fear and talk about my money issues, and I don't ever wish that upon anybody. I don't wish ill upon anybody, not even Donald Trump. Let's move away. Let's end things today on some wacky news. Felicity Huffman continues to do everything right. I don't know why Lori Loughlin's people have not hired Felicity Huffman's crisis PR team yet. They planted a story in Us Weekly that Felicity is expecting no special treatment in prison. And this is my favorite part. Quote, Felicity wasn't expressing any fears about going to prison because she's only going to be there a short time. She wants to take the short time there to learn as much as possible about how the other inmates ended up in prison. Prison justice reform is a very important cause for Felicity. She was interviewed for placement a few weeks ago. Genius. From beginning to now, to even after she's going to be out of jail, Felicity Huffman has played this masterfully, and so has her entire team. Kudos to you. And kudos to you for watching. I wish I could, wouldn't that be cool if, in the future we could just, press a button and all of a sudden be in 3D? I would love to be in 3D for you. I mean, the new phone is cool with, depth. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of depth. Anyways, I love you so much. I'm in a good mood today. I thank you. I hug you. I celebrate you. And if you enjoyed this, you are phenomenal. I will continue to ask of you to be more phenomenal. Please hit that like button and leave a comment down below in the normal comments section. Liking and commenting help my videos with engagement. The more engagement in a video, the more it shows up in search. YouTube recommends it more, and then I get more views and I get more money. I'm very transparent. Help me grow this. Tell your friends about my videos. Share this video. Subscribe to my Perez Hilton and Family personal channel at The Perez Hilton, youtube.com/The Perez Hilton. Make sure you've got the notifications turned on there and here. Thank you to anybody who may have super chatted me during this chat. I love you. Like I said, buy some merch at buypopstuff.com or the merch shelf down below. Listen to my podcast, The Perez Hilton Podcast, with Chris Booker on Apple Podcasts or directly at perezpodcast.com. Sign up for my newsletter at pereznewsletter.com. Follow me and the website across social media. And we're everywhere from Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Snapchat, and TikTok. And I'll see you guys. I'll see ya. Mwah.